told you that AI is going to take your business as a real estate agent and you nodded along and you went home. And then you open ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT, you typed it, please write me a listing description. And got back something that sounds very robotic and very generic.
Or it gave you something that violates fair housing compliance one altogether, all a thing. And this problem isn't AI itself, and it's not your prompting. The problem is you're asking an assistant with a blank page and no instructions giving. So it's like hiring a transaction coordinator and never explaining how you want to work your files. So that is why we have a free GitHub for you, so we can help you fix at least the beginnings of this program so you can actually work this amazing. We built it, we're offering it for free completely, and it's basically teaching Claude, one of the smartest AI models on the planet, how a couple of things in real estate works for you.
Exactly. We are Prosperity Agent, and I'm Victoria Pinder, and it's called Prosperity Agent. Now we want
Real Estate Skills GitHub.
Exactly.
Right.
Now we wanted to talk about all the details of what and how exactly works. And again, we are not a coder, we are not computer engineer, we are not computer programmer, and that's what we're going to promise you today, to give you the details that how you can use it for your own real estate
So you're
business.
going to take the GitHub that we're offering right here, you can plug it into your cloud, and then it's pretty much going to work as fast as you making a cup of coffee. It's very quick, very easy. So first, let's talk about GitHub itself. What is it? I haven't used it since 1995. So when I heard about this, I said, wait, I've heard about this when I was building my own computer, back when I needed to build a computer, because I am old enough to remember how I had to build my own computer in order to just buy instead of buying it at the store. Now, GitHub is basically a filing cabinet on the internet. That's a place. It's where people store folders of stuff and share them publicly with other people. And coders use it because their stuff happens to be code, but the file itself is just a folder.
Exactly.
And you've used it with Google Drive and you've used Dropbox, same idea, but GitHub is really used for code.
Exactly. And somebody basically puts those codes line with anybody that you basically can share that link, and you can grab it and copy it for your use. That here we wanted to talk about how exactly using for cloud for your real estate business.
And this is basically when you hear the word open source and where this comes from, because the file is unlocked and free. Anybody can walk up, take the file out, use what's in it at no cost. You don't need an account, you don't need permission, you don't need to know a single line of code. What these folders often are skills. So you can have Claude roaming GitHub to do whatever it is you want to do. So basically it's a set of instructions to teach Claude a specific job. Ours is about real estate and a couple things in real estate, so we have an offer for you. Now each of this is like having a way to train your assistant with compliance rules, and you're never going to have to actually type anything because you're going to there. So let's talk about our starter pack.
Exactly. The free starter pack that we were talking about give you our basically 4 starter skills that every one of them is built by fair housing, basically complaint from the ground up, the compliant basically. And the last part matters more than anything else, and you need to really pay attention. And let's go through all these 4 starter skills that we were talking about.
Now, basically, a listing description is there. You feed the facts of the home, the bath, the square footage, the beds, the bath, the square footage, the features that make it special, the facts that turn this into an MLS compliant and social media caption option. Now, it's like giving us a blank sheet of paper with a bunch of facts, and you used to stare at the screen for 30 minutes and try to figure out how we're going to promote this home. And basically, now we're going to get lots of different kinds. And what basically, by having it set on fair housing compliance, we're not drifting into languages that get you in trouble. So make sure there's that.
Skill number 2, basically connect your MLS with cloud. And this is the one that changes everything. Why? Because it's the reason actually it stops people scrolling. You know, the number 1 problem with generic AI, it makes things up. And ask a chatbot about your market, your housing market, and it guesses. Average, it's somewhere on the internet, not, for example, in the town that you are doing your real estate business, not this quarter, could be, you're talking about the second quarter, might be even fourth quarter. And basically, the second skills, this skills is going to fix that.
Now, basically, I have to tell you that my MLS, where I base this on, does not have API, right? API is like the codes for things to talk. Mine doesn't have that. So I have to download a CSV file in order to get my data. And all I'm looking at is square footage, houses, what's the price per square foot, the normal data that you would see. So you export, I have to download it as a CSV because there's no other option. But basically it's going to have my county data. I'm going to give it to Cloud because what I'm going to do is pull up the comparable sales. Now this is for website purposes, not for selling. What's working in the neighborhoods, the sold prices, the real days on market, the real inventory in the neighborhoods. It's not estimating, it's not guessing, it's not looking the internet, it's showing by the CSV file which ones to be looking at. That means when your market comes up and you're talking about, hey, the housing market in my thing is this many square footage this month, you'll actually have real data to actually answer that, not just something you Googled online. It is based on something that is really quick and easy and you don't have to do the math. My husband used to spend hours doing the math. He can tell you all about it. When we first started doing videos, he literally spent a day every single month to come up with these numbers. And now AI can do these numbers for you, and it's really just a simple thing. Now, again, skill 3, we talked about it, but the fourth one is the best one. Again, we've been hinting at this one.
The first, the skill number 3 was fair housing complaint overlay, and this is a compliant overlay, and this is a quiet hero of the whole toolkit because it's compliance foundation that sees underneath that everything that AI process for you and keep every output safe for you, that you are guarded as a real estate agent.
So think about it. You're writing that listing description. You want to make sure you're not using phrases that might get you in trouble. An innocent sounding thing can get you a fair housing violation. We don't even want to think about that, especially in the days of AI when AI makes up a lot of things. So you want to make sure that this rule is absolutely embedded and it's protecting you to make sure that this rule is embedded. Now, it's not the difference between having fun with AI and versus you can trust it to work. And the fourth one is my favorite. Can I talk about it?
Fourth one, my wife want to talk about it. I don't have anything to say other than say, okay, please talk.
This is the quick start. I have created so many codes for my AIs to work amazing, and these are just a few of the samples, right? And the ones that I'm giving to you for free. Now, the quick start, and we've talked about in our other videos, so many more that I've been doing all the time. But the fourth one is when you're really nervous, and this is basically for the AI. It's the quick start. So basically, it's reading all these things, and you're going to tell it, read the quick start, read the tutorial, and that way it can say, okay, these are the tasks that it does. Oh, and then you can say, I can do this. And then you can say, okay, what's going on? And you can kind of play around with it. Because that's the fastest way you can see that the Toolkit works. So that's what you're getting. It's completely free. It's in our folder. Take the folder all you want. No credit card, no nothing. You don't have to buy anything. But you can have Cloud talk to it to really understand what this coding does for you. Now we need to talk about how you can connect it to Cloud.
Exactly. Here's where people expect it to be complicated.
But it's not.
Because it doesn't actually. And you will be working something called Cloud Code. Again, when the code comes, don't freak out. You're not a coder. We're just trying to make it as simple as possible. And think of as Cloud with the sleeves that roll ready to actually task instead of just chatting with it. Because when ChatGPT came, people that were just chatting. They were not really doing a real task with it.
And it took a while for my husband to be convinced Cloud was way better than ChatGPT in many ways. So anyway, Cloud, basically, it's a filing cabinet. So you're saying, Cloud, I want you to look at this folder. Second thing, and you say, hey, what are the skills? Do I want them? And if you do, then you say, set them up for me. That way it can understand the code. I'm not trying to get anything on your computer on how to do these things, right? I just know basic, simple things on how to create something that works for me. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, because it's free. You don't have to code it. You don't have to code. Cloud can do that all for you. You're just saying, grab this for me. And you don't have to say, grab it for me. You can first do what I always do. Hey, Cloud, what does this folder do? What does this GitHub do for me? And then it can explain to me all the things that it does, and then I can say I want it or I don't want it. So I do recommend having that conversation with Cloud in a vibe before you even grab it and say, hey, what's in there? And then basically you get the words, it can copy and paste them for you. You don't have to do anything from scratch. You don't have to memorize anything other than give Cloud the link. And you copy paste, and that's the rest. That's the whole thing. And the minute it finishes, it stops being generic and is going to be the assistant that can help you with your listings, with your captions, and be compliant.
Exactly. Basically, you're not building anything, you're not writing any code, And the 4 skills are real deal. They are not just a crippled demo. And they're built to basically respect the actual rules of your real estate business, fair housing compliant, that we saying, because you don't want to have any steering conversation there, any discriminatory that we might come up if you're just chatting with the chat GDP. And this helps you and protect you. And also, at the end, you also respect the MLS rules that you're working.
Now, the difference between free and other libraries is automation. Now, the free skill is a do-it-yourself version. You sit it down and you run the results. Now, what I do with people who join us is teach you the next step to how we can automate. So you'd be like, hey, I've got this home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and we're going to take it from listing to social media and everything in between, video, images, everything. So I have a whole system when it's a listing, and I love it so much. This is just a description. Because, again, that's just something so you can see how Cloud Code can open up your imagination to everything you might do. So I would say that is really, really key here. You have to be compliant. You have to have your CRM, and you have to have your social media. This is the things that just work all together. Your website, your CRM, your automation. And it's really kind of letting you to get deeper. So we're just kind of sharing a few of the things that I do, a very small thing, so you can see why Cloud Code is awesome. And we love doing our real estate business, and I have taken I love Cloud. That's all I can say.
Okay. Therefore, do you want to
basically, if you're looking to join us, what we have is so much more than this. So it's not about an AI that's writing your robots nor. It's writing listings, running real comps for you, and so you can have data for when you're running this listing, even if not data for you to get the listing, data for you to say these are the comparables when you're putting it into the MLS for your own self and writing a listing description. How did they write their listing description? And you're watching the compliance and what it does. So we're really just making sure that if you're working with this system, you're working and you're going to go faster with more good things that are going to work, that you're not going to get flagged. And it's completely free. Like I said, it's all in my filing cabinet. The link is in the description, and I can't wait to talk to you about how you're using Cloud and Code.
See you next time.